Hi, and welcome to GCB TV. I'm Linda Nuss, the Regional Manager of USA and Canada. Today I'm coming to you live from the city center of Darmstadt in the Darmstadtium, a conference center located just 20 minutes outside of Frankfurt. Joining me today is Lars and Mike, and they're going to show us around just a little bit. So welcome. So we moved into one of the conference rooms with a view of the city center just to show you just exactly the location and that it is really in the middle of the city. I think you mentioned an interesting fact about what's surrounding us here.
Yes, we are part of the university. We are on the campus of the University of Darmstadt, and all you can see, the castle and the other buildings are part of the university. That is excellent, and that is a specificum.
Nice. So why should a North American or an international planner choose Darmstadt? What makes it so special?
One of the most important things is how to come to a destination, to a location, and we are quite near to Frankfurt, only 20 minutes to the airport, the international airport Frankfurt am Main. And this is one great advantage of our center, of our convention center, because you need only 20 minutes by car or by train from this center to the airport, and I guess that's a great advantage.
But what we should also mention, coming here, the connection down to Darmstadt really offers, if you're coming into the airport of Frankfurt, it offers 300 connections to about 25 cities in North America. So the connection is there. And then if you take into account that we are down here at Darmstadt in Germany, it's a destination that offers a lot of value for the money. Mm-hmm. It's a quality destination. And if you look at the whole thing, Darmstadt is a very vibrant young city. We've seen that before. So I think what we can offer here is not just the scientific aspect, it's also what we offer in all the area of ESOC. So it might be a point for you.
Yes, of course. We are the gateway to the space. ESA is a European Space Agency. You can compare it with the NASA in America and Northern America, and it's located directly in Darmstadt. Also the ESOC, the European Space Operations Center, and both institutions are located in Darmstadt, and we are well connected with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fly into Frankfurt regularly from New York, and last time it actually took only 5 hours and 45 minutes. So it's a very, very quick flight into Frankfurt from the East Coast without having to change planes. So I can absolutely relate. And we were here within about 20 minutes today. So it's absolutely, the accessibility is there, certainly. So what is the global footprint of Darmstadt? What is it that you have to offer for a global player?
We have 3 universities in Darmstadt with more than 45,000 students, and we have also many global players who are located in Darmstadt. For example, the German Telekom, Merck, Schenk Process, Software AG. All of these companies are here, but we have also hidden champions which are global active. And they make many conferences in our building, in our Darmstadtium, and we are proud of it.
Nice. So your regional expertise seems to be very scientific based. Now, switching gears a little bit, what is something a planner can do at the end of the day? The event is over. What can they do in your city that's special?
In the end, it's great. I mean, we're just right, as you said, in the heart of the city, and just like 10 minutes away from the center itself, we have UNESCO World Heritage coming up. There's Mathildenhöhe Youth Style Center. But we also got a lot of pubs and bars and shopping areas. So it's all around and 20 minutes from the center. So it's really a spectacular site within the center.
Very cool. And with all the students, I'm sure it's very fun.
We're a young city.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
The average is less than 40 years of the population in Darmstadt, and this is unique. And
I think you mentioned before that you actually have a sister city in the United States, correct?
Yes, San Antonio, since half a year. And the Twin Town ceremony was, the festival was inside here in our Congress Center.
Absolutely cool. And the mayor came to visit, I think?
Yes. And he called us the Silicon Valley of Germany. And yes, our eyes become up. What? Silicon Valley of Germany. Thank you very much for this statement.
That's amazing. Great job.
Definitely.
That's what our planners say in the end. I mean, they say you can meet the future here. It's not because you got all the scientific institutes here, but it's the melting point where science meets the industry, the event industry, and where ideas are born in the end. And so the Silicon Valley itself reflects in our events down here.
So I know that this is a fairly new conference center, only 10 years old. What are some of the milestones that you've achieved thus far?
Yes, one milestone is the nominations during the last years. Last year, for example, Smart Meetings named us as one of the coolest convention centers worldwide. And if you simultaneously named with Dubai, Barcelona, or so on, it called very good. And we were a little bit surprised about this. But why not? One of the coolest convention centers. Yes, it's great for us.
I wasn't too surprised, to be honest, because Event Manager blog, a European blog, they called us 10 best in Europe under conference centers who really care for about 1,000, or good for events with 1,000 people. So, I mean, that's, again, German, European capitals, so we are with them. So,
but we are not a capital. We are only a smart and a small city. But we have nominations, and it's a good job during the last years. But we want to become better and better year for year for our guests. That's the most important thing, I guess.
And to be honest, it's just 10 years running. But within running 10 years, we also did, remember Ferrum? We did a new hall in our, let's say, portfolio we're offering. Within operation, we built a hall within our conference center, which wasn't really built out. It holds about 400 people, so ideal for kind of mid-sized meetings. And so that was 2014 when we were really down here, having events all the time, having people in here, and we did construction within the site. So that was really great.
Yes, it was during our daily business. We have no disruption, anything. During our daily business, we finished our Ferrum, our congress, on the biggest or second biggest congress hall.
So you keep growing and expanding as you can.
I mean, by this time, 2014, we were really in the end of expansion because it was really inside the building. We didn't build it outside. But the idea is, if you're taking back to 2014 again, I mean, there was another thing coming up. We were that was in IMEX Germany and Frankfurt in May 2014. We were really awarded by INCEN, which is really a professional organization. 170 PCOs worldwide are gathered in there. And they have an award, INCEN Digital Infrastructure Award. So that was about how digital infrastructure relates to to a conference. And they awarded the best center, and we really won the award worldwide, and we were the first worldwide to get this award.
That's really incredible. So you were the first to win the award, correct?
Yes, in 2014. But our economic development is a process. We still improve our business. That's our main target. Because if you stand still and say, okay, for us it's enough, then it's a disadvantage for the future. We want to develop all our business all time and from day to day, and the guests expect it from us.
What does winning the INCEN award mean to you and your customers?
Yes, we try to include and to combine every part of technology, RFID, for example, wearables, apps, and so on, because technology is the future. And if you're not open for these technologies, which are very important for the future, you're out. Mm-hmm. Nobody will come to you. For us, technology is one of the main topics, the main objectives to be, yes, not only in front of it, we want to be a technology leader.
And the idea about it, I think, is really our planners, they bring all this stuff. They come here, say, can you realize 500 virtual reality glasses by the same time and all this? And we say, sure, we can, because the main idea is really what you have to offer by using all these technologies. The basic, it's like if you're doing coffee, you need water. And we have all the infrastructure down here, so it's really good that the infrastructure is there. And that's what we implemented way back, and what really did for the INCEN award, what's good for the planners. I mean, we're sure we have a 10 gigabit internet connection, but the idea is not to say it's 10 gigabit. The idea is it works here, and the problem is with other planners, sometimes they're challenging to get it all done. And here it works. So that's kind of the thing, it's plug and play in here.
And the connectivity inside the building and the connectivity to the world. That's the important thing. And we combine both sides, the connectivity to the world and inside the building. Sorry, but I interrupt you.
No, so I guess it's a little bit of the base. You're laying the base, and everything's possible here that anyone can dream of.
I mean, it's hard to say, because you don't see Wi-Fi, That's it's a point, everyone needs it,
Right.
but you shouldn't really talk about it because it should be there.
It should be there.
That's
That's
the
the
idea.
base,
It's
yes.
a basic need, as you say, and that's when I think it was 2013, when we really started putting in the next step of Wi-Fi. We are always on the top of the technology edge here. Now we're using Wave 2 as the next Wi-Fi standard. We're starting implementing this, and we were really worldwide leaders. There's just one center in the US which started 2013 before us, and now we're in there. So we're really at the edge here.
Very impressive.
And if you don't offer it, you're out of the game. That's a problem. And we want to be a part of it.
All the technology aside, which is so impressive, what is it that Darmstadtium has that's kind of a little different? What's special?
Our Great Hall, I guess. Our Great Hall has a capacity of 1,700 persons, and we can divide it in 3 parts. We can make flat dining situations, we can ascending situations. If you have a wish, we can realize it. You say us how you like it, and we can get the solution for you. And we have more than 100 opportunities to configure our Great Hall spectrum.
And the special idea about it is really what I haven't seen in any place worldwide. I mean, you can divide this hall in 3 parts. You can elevate it because it's kind of podiums everywhere, but the whole hall is a podium kind of. So if you take the stage, you can bring cars in there. It weighs about, if it's hardly up to 5 tons, we can put up there. So you can bring a car from the off, you can bring a live cooking event from the off, but you can also open up the hall itself. So if you've got an auditorium with 1,000 people and they're listening to a great speech, and then the stage comes down, the back of the stage goes up, and people are moving out. So there's a special situation you can make of it. So the hall itself is really flexible, and if you're talking about...
the atmosphere is many times totally different. Sometimes normal business style, and 2 hours later you have a gala dinner. It's no problem. We can switch the atmosphere in 2 hours. It's specific.
And we were talking about earlier about the scientific congresses, for example. We had about 1,000 people, really physics in the end. Everyone's on these small things, and they're research guys, and they're working for a week. And they had 4 days ascending podiums with 1,000 people in there as their big spectrum hall. And overnight, we put it flat and put a big poster session in there. And these guys came in there and said, sorry, haven't we been here yesterday? That's different. And so you can really change the setting.
Quite surprised.
So it's an experiential hall in a way.
Yes.
You're very involved and immersed in it, and you can do different things in it.
We call it
versatile.
chameleon. We call it chameleon. Different colors, different situations. Everything is possible.
That's about a spectrum hall, the big hall. But the idea about the whole center is in the end, I mean, we have this big hall, we have all the variety around there, we have the second hall, the ferrum, and we have 21 breakout rooms, which combine it as a total. So I think the idea is for the planners in the US, for example, or around the world, if you're doing a big meeting with 300 to 1,000 attendees, it's great, you can mix it, you have all the variety there, you have all the opportunities there in the end, and it helps you really to get a situation for 2-3 days event to bring the maximum out.
And that's why the reason why the Great Hall, we call it spectrum, because you have the whole spectrum of opportunities and wishes, which you can offer for our guests. That's the reason for the name, Spectrum.
So we've talked a lot about the building, how that has developed over the last 10 years. What have you seen in your meetings over the past decade?
In the end, it's amazing, It's 10 years running now, and we have kind of over 3,200 meetings held here in Darmstadt. We had about 1.5 million customers down here, let's say participants of all the events. And if you summed it up, it's not just like we're doing meetings. And 99%, over 99% of our customers are really satisfied. They spread the word and say, hey, you should go there. It's a really good spot, and I really recommend it. And these are numbers where I say, wow, impressing. I mean, for people who haven't been there, to get the idea, 3 or 4 of our customers, they are coming back. Might not be the same format, sure, but they have variety of formats and say, that's the place to be. And we are with a competition worldwide in the end, so that's a thing where I'm really proud of.
For us, it's the most important is that customers come back. 75% come back, are return customers, and that's a statement. But the statement is quite complex for the future, because they want always more for less. And for us, it's a very difficult situation to develop the center from year to year, from week to week, from month to month. But we doubled our turnover during the last 10 years, but also we reduced our energy consumption 40%. We cut it 40%, and this is a statement, because the economic development, the economic sustainability is also important, like the ecological sustainability. And we combine both sides of the world, because that's our future, to make business, but also we are responsible for our future, for our world, for our planet. And we can be a part of it, a small part, but in our opinion and in our point of view, from our point of view, I guess not so unimportant for Darmstadt, and hopefully for the world.
So I guess in conclusion you can say you may have doubled in size, but you reduced your footprint, and the quality of the meeting is consistent when coming to Darmstadt.
Service is the top. The guests must be satisfied if they go out of the building. That's the most important thing.
And I mean, we could talk about numbers in this. We're asking our clients all the time, are they satisfied? And we are getting, let's say, school rates like 1, like an A or A+, in every kind of region, with our technical side, with our stuff inside, with the cleaning, with the catering. People are happy, and they're consistently happy, and we're really wondering every year, how can we improve that? We can't improve it. We're really on top, but that's the hard way to do, really, because if you're on top, you have to stay there, and that's the hardest thing to do, I think.
Well, I think you guys are doing a pretty good job.
Our guests must say it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any additional questions, the contact information is just below. Thank you for having us, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, see you.